Well, hello, model car fans. Welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Ral, and this week I'm just showing you a build here that I've been working on. Not putting a whole lot of work into this particular one, but this is the Monogram Testarossa Convertible, and picked up this kit in the past year or so. One that I wanted to build and I've known about. I don't distinctly remember if I actually had this kit back then or not. I tend to think I did, but I just don't distinctly remember, and I don't have it anymore. Um, and I know I built the Miami Vice version, which I did build a rebuild of that one or a whole other kit of that recently, just in the past 2 years or so. But and I also did the Miami Vice Ferrari Daytona, the one that's more of a Corvette. Built that one also, but I enjoyed both of those builds, and this particular one, the Monogram one, I found it challenging back then, the one I do remember building. And so, I went looking for this kit and I went and found it, of course, and purchased it. And after having it for a little while and having some fun with it, this is kind of Angelo's fault, actually, because we were talking about those Daytonas and the Miami Vice kits. And I had pulled this one out and we talked about it. And I know he went out and actually bought one of these as well. So got excited about it and just playing with them and building them. But in talking with them and everything, I got kind of excited. And looked this one over many times. Like, this one's going to be pretty easy to build. It hasn't been too long since I did the last one, and it's actually kind of fun to build too. But at the same time, I knew when I was building that 71 Mustang wide body that I was painting that resin motor silver and red. While I was at it, I'm like, oh yeah, this motor is painted silver and red too. So I decided that I would paint this motor as well, start getting it ready to build. So I did that. So that was real recently, and just playing with it, doing a little here and a little there. But built this Testarossas flat 12 here, which after doing a couple of them isn't really too bad. But I remember being a little bit more difficult and getting all this stuff to kind of fit. But much more years of experience of building, and it went together so much nicer. Getting everything to line up, and this is a fun one. The next step is one where it gets a little fun to get this mounted, but I got all of that in there, detailed up the way I liked, and it's just kind of a quick build out of the box, just having some fun. But decided I would paint the yellow emblem on the cap there, which these cars didn't have. They didn't have the yellow emblem in there. But I'll talk more about that, when I have the completed build. But this was just kind of fun and really simple. There's really not a whole lot of colors to do, so got the whole chassis done. And then since I was going with the um, car from Outrun, the video game, if you remember that video game, I played that a lot as a kid. So that's why I decided I was going to go with the black interior and red body, which is kind of how the video game is. You really can't see much of the interior, but it appears black from the original game. So this one's a little bit boring as far as that goes, but I did a little bit of color here and there, shift knobs, but typical 80s fashion, it's a sea of black in here. Gauges are done in red with the needles and stuff. So I did the best I could to detail those. And I like how it came out. And being the convertible, you can kind of see all of this in there. So this is pretty much ready to glue in as well. And it came with an up top. So here's the up top. Pretty simple. I like the it fits fairly well too. And then here's the of course the boot as well. So you have your choice of tops. But I think you glue this in place, that still fit on top of it. And then finish the body. But in that game, Outrun, you see the back. That's all you pretty much see. So um, got the body all painted, and wasn't a whole lot of body work to it. There's a mold line right here that's a real pain. Um, but sanded that out as much as I could, just trying to keep the shape into it. And like the way it came out, and just keeping this all clean. Now, this windshield frame was bent a little bit and tweaked. So it was kind of difficult getting the glass in there, but I got the glass in there, and with the help of some of my miniature clamps here or whatever, help holding it, keep it straight. And so now the glass is in there. Got the mirror in there painted black. And then the front side isn't black, but so the last little things I did, still got the lenses here, the black on here, just all the detail painting and the yellow. I did put these on the sides here because I wanted to see what they look like. The kit came with them. Not really this version, but the Miami Vice version had them. And I put them on here. As a matter of fact, here's a picture of them on there because I sent a picture to Angelo on it. And they were just way too big, and I didn't like the way they looked. And then I was just reading a little bit more onto those shields on the sides, and I found out while people that own the Testarossas added them, they never came on the factory on them. Only their race cars actually came with them, or race-inspired cars. The Testarossa was never meant to be a race car. It's a street car, as far as Ferrari looked at it. Pretty potent street car at its time, but it was never meant to be a race car. So, so I pulled those back off and went without them because it just looks so much better without them. But after finding that out, it made it a lot easier because I kind of wanted to be a little bit different. I do still have to black out in here on these vents a little bit. That's just going to be some detail, hand painting. The lock knob right here. The door handle is under on the underside, but it's not in the model kit. You can't see it. And then did all the black on the back here. And I don't know if you can see the taillights in there. It's really hard to see those taillights, but they're painted with the turn signal amber red in there. So they're just really hard to see in that black. But on the inside, I did, black them out so you can't see them because sometimes you can kind of see that stuff when it's in there, especially with all that tubing and stuff. So I blacked out the whole inside of this. Um, that's all hand painted and all hand done. A little bit easier to do it that way, but this part of it I airbrushed. I airbrushed this, the front here, did it in stages. Same thing the back here. This is all airbrushed. Matter of fact, there you go. There's a good angle to show you the taillight lens. Look at that. So there we go. It's just a shadowing effect here. But anyway, and then getting all the convertible boot and all this stuff ready. Then here's the cover. And then I did the bare metal foil through there so you can see the Ferrari. But the Testarossa is a silver decal. Even though it tore on me and I had a go time, getting it all lined back up. But this is all done and ready to go. And this is where it gets a little hairy on this Monogram kit. Is these are a little tight fitting, and even on the not the convertible version of Spider, it's pretty tight. So there she is in place. But getting excited about getting this thing glued together. So it's virtually done. Just a little few things left to do. Glue the mirrors on, glue things. So I figured I would show this to you before I glue this thing all back together. But she's looking good. Oh, and with the convertible top on. There we go. But you gotta have the top off. It just looks so much better with the top off. But this will be sitting, on the shelf behind it. Put this on here. Now I'm just playing with it. That's all we really do. Just play with them. Yeah, there we go. But it's a fun kit to build and everything. Got a little bit left. Oh, and of course, if I can hold on to it here, I went into the Acme plate maker and I had to make the Outrun license plate there, the California Outrun license plate. So yeah, it's one of the last details I had to do it. And here's one that I did before I did it. Just printed it, then put some Scotch tape on it and trimmed it all out. Different shapes or sizes here to make sure I got one that fits it. So this thing is just about done. It's been a real pleasure to build. It was a pretty quick build, really, other than carefully putting all of the engine and suspension pieces in there. Pretty easy going kit. The more difficult part of this is gluing this chassis in here because it just glues all the way around the perimeter here. And that's pretty much it, which is kind of a little bit nerve-wracking in getting it all to fit. The interior tub glues on, so locating it is a little bit goofy, which even on the Miami Vice version is that way. But this one's just about done. So next time you see it, I'll have a finished video of this one done and everything. But I wanted to show it to you while it was all apart, and I can show you guys all the details. So you guys, thank you for tuning in, subscribing, and all your comments and everything. I really do appreciate it, you guys. And you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time.